So what is going on, guys? I am BlackOpsAmazing. Welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Zombies Q&A on the channel, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do with the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. I didn't post a video yesterday because it was my birthday, so if you aren't already subscribed, if you want to give me a late present, I'd really appreciate that. We are on our way to 680,000 subscribers. We're trying to see if we can reach that before the next Zombies map releases, but we'll see how we go on. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video and enjoy. So the first question of the day from Edgar says, when you teleport to the Dark Aether, why are there big jellyfish in the sky? Is the Dark Aether underwater? Well, we don't really know much about these creatures, and that goes for other monsters in the Dark Aether as well. There are ones that we do know about, such as the monster that roams the forest, the Elder God. We know about the existence of the Apothecans. We've recently, in the Firebase Sea teaser, seen a new type of creature from the Dark Aether, which kind of looks like a mixture between the Margwar, a crawler, and something else combined. The Dark Aether contains many monsters, but since you are asking about the jellyfish, do we know anything about them? Well, there is a radio we can find in D Machine. It is from someone trapped within the Dark Aether. This person's name is Johannes, and in it, they tell us their experience seeing these creatures.
Is anyone out there? Can anyone hear me? I do not know how long I have been here. There are no days to count. Only an endless twilight. Like a dream that keeps shifting whenever I try to focus on it. There are some strangely beautiful sights here. Great glowing gems, luminous creatures that float on the mist. Beauty means little when you are always being hunted. I should never have gone near that shimmering light. I should never have touched it. I thought it was a sign from God. There is no God here. There is no God.
So whilst trapped in the Dark Aether, Johannes says there are some strangely beautiful sights here. Great glowing gems, luminous creatures that float on the mist, but beauty means little when you are always being hunted. She describes the jellyfish as luminous creatures that float on the mist, and if you look at them, that's pretty much what they are. They don't sound harmful, them specifically aren't hunting her, and even when our characters travel to the Dark Aether in D Machine, for the little time that we are there, the jellyfish don't do anything. For all of the bad within the Dark Aether, they don't seem harmful. There are also little ones that float about as well. And as you said in your question, this is kind of weird because you would expect jellyfish to be underwater. The way they are floating gives off the impression that we are underwater in the Dark Aether. The whole bluiness that we get on our screen whilst we are here, the purple and blue effect, the bubbles that we see in certain places as well. If you didn't know better, you could question, is the Dark Aether underwater? No, I don't think so, but why are the jellyfish in the Dark Aether? Well, just like everything else in our zombie storyline, it seems at the end of Tag der Toten, they became trapped here as well. We know if you are in the Dark Aether for long enough, you change, you contort, and eventually look nothing like your former self, so it could be that these jellyfish originally weren't jellyfish when they became trapped in the Dark Aether initially. They could have been here for hundreds, thousands of days and changed into what we see them as. Maybe before they were something else. It's a creature that we haven't really been told too much about, and because the Dark Aether is quite new to us, we still don't fully understand how everything works within it. The next question from Ryan says, is Zombies Chronicles 2 still happening? So since the last time I made a video on this, I believe the information hasn't really changed, and in order to get anything about the subject, we have to go back to quite a long time ago, because we've known for the longest time that Zombies Chronicles 2 is a thing. We know that those Victus maps of Tranzit, Die Rise and Buried have been made for a very long time. It was actually in Black Ops 4 these maps were ready to go and be released. They are a part of Zombies Chronicles 2, but because of Black Ops 4's reception, how it did in terms of revenue, player count, Treyarch and I guess Activision made the end decision, decided not to release it for BO4, and ever since then, those maps have just been waiting. they've been completed for, what, a couple of years now? They just haven't been released. It's kind of a similar situation as to how the Modern Warfare 2 campaign was. That was also completed for a very long time. It's just that Activision decided not to release it straight away and waited until, I guess, a dry period in Call of Duty. When it wasn't doing so well, they waited for the right time to release it. We knew that that campaign had been finished for ages. It's the same for Zombies Chronicles 2. We have had little bits of information since then. We've had credible leakers speak on this subject. Someone by the name of Tom Henderson over on Twitter, although not directly talking about Zombies Chronicles 2 in this tweet, he's also said in his videos, yes, Zombies Chronicles 2 is done. It has been for a very long time. It's just up to Treyarch and Activision when or even if they're ever going to release it. In this tweet though, which I think we all know, he said, it looks like there's a lot of mid-season content that was announced today which was brought forward from Season 2. And that isn't a bad thing. Of course, talking about our new Season 1 content that was announced the other day, he said, as mentioned previously, Black Ops Cold War will have the most post-launch content ever released in Call of Duty history, and that shows today. Out of any other Call of Duty, you wouldn't think it, but Black Ops Cold War will have the most content ever. I'm assuming that goes for Zombies as well. We know from Modern Warfare we had 6 seasons for that game, so if we're going off that, that means 6 seasons for Black Ops Cold War. We've got a Zombies map for Season 1, which we can only assume we're having a Zombies map for Season 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, which means 6 DLC Zombies maps combined with the one we have on the game already could lead to a total of 7, and that's not even including Zombies Chronicles 2. If Cold War is to have the most Zombies content ever, we had 8 Zombies maps for Black Ops 4, we should be getting 7 Zombies maps for Cold War if we get one every season. That's less than BO4 if this game's getting more content than any other Call of Duty, and it's not just on about multiplayer. Adding Zombies Chronicles 2, 3 extra maps, Tranzit, Die, Rise and Buried, would give us the most Zombies content ever. There was also this tweet from Old Saint Eric a very long time ago back in 2019 where he said, really love watching YouTubers try and discuss the DLC 5 stuff, which is Zombies Chronicles 2, and pretend to be confused when everyone who went to Ancient Evil was told point blank by Treyarch themselves that it exists. So apparently, I don't know this, but there are YouTubers who went to play Ancient Evil early in BO4 and were told by Treyarch that yes, DLC 5 is a thing. I don't know about that, so I can't confirm it myself, but yes, what we do know is Zombies Chronicles 2 does exist. We're just waiting for it to be released if it ever happens. I don't see why it won't. It will generate them a lot of money, it's just, I guess, the right timing. Perhaps when all of these seasons have finished in BO Cold War, or maybe if one season is a little bit dry and they can't release a normal Zombies map as they would, that's when we'll get that map pack, but I don't think it will be within the next couple of months, perhaps by the end of this year. And just quickly speaking on it, how would it tie into Black Ops Cold War? Because in Transit, Die, Rise and Buried, we played as the Victor's characters, Misty, Malton, Stuhlinger and Russman. At this current point in BO Cold War, they are trapped in the Dark Aether. They would have actually been in here for thousands of days. As I mentioned in my previous comment, anything or anyone that becomes trapped in the Dark Aether for a certain amount of time changes and will be nothing like their former self. So as of right now, the Victor's crew will be completely different in the Dark Aether. They will be monsters. So for me, there are 2 different options here. Either we get our Transit, Die, Rise and Buried remakes before they were banished to the Dark Aether, or what would be really cool is we do get a Dark Aether version of those maps, but maybe they take place right after they were sent there, not thousands of days later. Maybe just 1 or 2 days or a week after those maps were banished to the Dark Aether. That is when they take point, and we can still play as the Transit crew then, because they won't have changed in that little amount of time, but also see the cool effects of the Dark Aether begin to take over those maps. I think that'd be epic. All we really know for sure though is those maps are completed, it's just up to Treyarch and Activision as to when they're released. So guys, there we go, that is it, that is all I have for you for today's video. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do, drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel, and as always, I will see you in the next one. Until then, goodbye.